One of the themes we see in Hamlet is Shakespeare exploring rationality and emotionality as two opposing psychological forces. Hamlet is faced with a number of situations that are highly emotionally charged. For example, the murder of his father and the hasty marriage of his mother to his uncle. One interpretation of Hamlet's conflict is that it arises from attempting to rationalise the situation at the cost of dealing with his emotions. The idea of rational thinking and emotionality, or the head and the heart as two opposing forces or opposite ends of a continuum, is a theme that Shakespeare explores in a number of his plays. As has been argued, Hamlet's conflict can be seen as arising from his desire to rationalise rather than deal with his emotions. Interestingly, we are more used to Shakespeare's characters coming to grief because their emotions seemingly overpower their ability to think rationally. Ophelia is an example of this in Hamlet. From a modern psychological perspective, we know that the relationship between emotion and rationality is far more complex than this. Emotion and rational thinking are not forces at the opposite end of a spectrum, but are part of a larger system encompassing cognitive processes, physiological reactions, and conscious and unconscious behaviours. Research shows that emotion can have an impact on decision-making in both a positive and a negative manner, depending on the situation, the decision that needs to be made, and the cost of the potential outcomes. For example, if you like chocolate ice cream and eating it makes you happy, then you will of course show a preference for eating chocolate ice cream over strawberry ice cream. In other words, the way you feel about chocolate ice cream helps you make a decision. It can work the other way too. You might hate strawberry ice cream, so this can also help you make a decision. Of course, the kinds of situations that Shakespeare's characters are dealing with are slightly more loaded than choosing what to have for dessert, and they are generally experiencing emotions that are much stronger than those in my example. But even when the stakes are raised, and the cost of your decision is higher, rationality and emotion are not necessarily going to be in conflict with each other. While Shakespeare often provides examples of this conflict between emotion and rationality, he also provides counterexamples, and we shall see some of these in the weeks in which we look at Othello and The Winter's Tale. For example, Act 1, Scene 3 of Othello shows Iago motivated by hatred and jealousy, thinking through his plan to destroy Othello in what appears to be a quite calculated manner. In contrast, in Act 1, Scene 2 of The Winter's Tale, we see Leontes' emotions blinding him with rage, causing him to act in a chaotic and irrational manner. And this is one of the reasons why Shakespeare is brilliant. Nothing is ever straightforward or simple, just like human psychology. And this is why Shakespeare's plays are relevant today and will continue to be so as long as humans are humans.